I'm with Katie Ka Vang and Melissa Lee, and they have created the wonderful musical Again. So thank you both for joining me today.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for
Yeah.
having us.
Could you kind of explain, like, to people who don't know, like, what Again is about?
It's really about a friendship that kind of forms over cancer treatments, and then also really the main character Mai See's journey to and her relationship with this younger cancer thriver that kind of gives her like new ways and perspectives um, in life and like inspires her to get through life, I think.
So how does it work? Or could you tell me more about like the songwriting and I guess the composition and the lyric process that you two have kind of fallen into or like, I guess, made together?
Yeah, I feel like, in some ways, um, we're still learning each other's style. But right now, I feel like we do this thing where I think what I'm learning is like context is really important uh, to give to a composer. And then also, what we do is I'll write things the way that I normally would approach a play. So I write a scene, I'll do like a monologue slash brain dump. And then Melissa and I will sort of talk about it. And then, talk about it within the context of the material. And then she'll like go and do some other thing with it and come back. And then we kind of go through it again, and then she'll tweak it. She'll take some words and turn it into lyrics, or she'll take a sentence and sort of flesh it out. And then we recalibrate. I'm like, okay, yeah, and that kind of like informs also the story as well, and like the tone and how I write, like keep the story moving along. I don't know, Melissa, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. I think you're right that like context is so important in a musical because it's really not about the song. It's about like what the song's trying to say. It's like why the song is happening, who's singing it, and so story is baked into the songwriting, and I think so. We start with that, and then I think it's like also this is the first time I haven't really written book for a show. Like I mentioned, like this is the first time I'm really just coming in as like the songwriter and the composer lyricist of the show. So really taking the story and the context of what Katie has written, and then from that I find that the monologues really help Katie when you're just like, okay, this is what the person is thinking, right, like in the song, and then from there like extracting like what are the lyrics that pop out, like where's the chorus, like what should be repeated, what's really the crux of this song, and then using some of the other material as the starting point for the verses. And then so I would bring it back to Katie, we might do some tweaks, we would have to sometimes rewrite or you'd sometimes have to rewrite like the launching into it or like the exits, and we tweak those together.
What kind of musical style would you say these songs are in?
What kind of musical style? I don't know. I feel like when folks ask me that, I'm like, oh, I write in many different styles. I think the best way to put it would be like pop musical style. I think everything, I started out as a songwriter before I got into musical theater. So everything, it will feel more like a standalone song, will feel more like a self-contained song, even though it is sitting in the context of a musical. So you'll definitely hear that, like when you're listening to the show, you'll hear like recurring choruses, like sort of like this verse chorus structure. But yeah, it spans everything from like rock to like more like just straight up like contemporary musical theater to like ballads. So there's a lot of everything. I think for the New Eyes Festival, though, we're not going to have a band, so everything's gonna, it's gonna have that same sound because it's like on the piano. But yeah, mostly just pop.
I'm sure you've obviously had, you've listened to like the songs before as you like run through them or everything. But is there like a particular song that you're especially excited to hear, like in the context of like the New Eyes Festival reading? And if it's a spoiler, like you don't have to say. But
I'm actually gonna let Katie take that because I like all of them. Maybe I'm biased. I wrote them. I like them. So yeah, Katie, I feel like maybe you have a opinion.
Yeah, I mean, God, that's so hard because I feel like it's like my first musical, so I'm like, every song is good, and every time Melissa comes on something, I'm like, yes, oh my god, that's so good. I mean, I think there's a lot of things that I'm still trying to figure out right now, that the potential of like the new songs that don't exist yet. So those, it's also maybe a fire for me to lit my own ass on fire. And so many. I guess one song that I was really excited about when I heard it, I don't know, that's not even right to say, but I'm like, I think is the what is it, the song when the main character Mai See finds out some news about a relapse.
Oh.
I don't know if I should say it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that song was really I feel like like what I said to you, and you came back and I was like, yeah, like that really captures like that feeling, and it's I don't know, should we just tell them what the name of it is?
Yeah, sure.
It's called Are You Fucking Kidding Me, right? Is that what it is?
Yes, that's the name of the song.
Yeah. And I was like, whoa, okay. And it just got me really excited. Yeah.
Yeah, that one is a straight up rock song. Because it's like trying to mirror what she's feeling at that time. Yeah.
But there's so many like even just that Lifeboat song too. I'm just like,
yeah. I think for me, I'm like a little bit more drawn to like the ballads, because I feel like it really cuts to the core of like what the emotional stakes are and like what the characters are feeling in those moments.
What does your schedule look like for like leading up to the actual reading?
You mean like the actual workshop? Or?
Yeah. Oh, the actual workshop. Okay, I thought you meant now.
I'm like, you mean like starting now? Like now I'm like working like a dog until Melissa gets here.
Now she's working. I'm on vacation.
I know.
What does our week look like, Katie? Well, actually it's organized in a pretty smart way. There's like the first day, the first 2 days is going to be, reading through and learning music. That always takes a little bit up top. In every musical theater process, you just take the first 2 days and like learn music. So that's what's happening. And then meanwhile, Katie will be writing and tweaking, and then we have these days off in between where we can have like a full day to like rewrite something, present a completely new song, change the song that we have, that type of thing. And that's peppered throughout. So yeah, it will be like scenes, writing.
I guess kind of backtracking a bit, I was wondering, Katie, if you could tell me a little bit about like the inspiration for Again.
Yeah. So I'm actually a cancer survivor, and I had an interesting journey with cancer and surviving, and also now thriving or finding my way to thriving. And I wanted to, I think, tell a cancer story within the context from like a Hmong American lens. And yeah, I think that was, and I think the becoming part was really interesting to me. Like, how does one continue to move forward? Was really interesting to me. And I found myself, I felt like I started a couple of false starts in the form of like plays and scripts, and I just couldn't really figure it out. A part of me was also like, because I'm still in it. And I had seen a friend who had done a musical theater reading, and I realized, oh my God, I wonder if that thing that I'm trying to say and can't articulate should actually be musicalized. And I wonder about that collaboration, how it can look. So that's sort of like the jumping off point of my curiosity. Yeah, out of curiosity.
As the story has progressed, like, has it changed in ways that like have surprised you, or like just more explored like different parts of your experience? Or does that make sense? Sorry.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, thanks for that question, because my writing up to this point has been mostly autobiographical. And so this is sort of a new terrain where I am borrowing from some of my experiences, not completely, but so yeah, I'm definitely inputting some of like the things that I went through, maybe things that I saw other people go through. things that I think they might have gone through and just sort of projecting. So yeah,